Hello and good evening. You're very welcome to Live Irish Myths episode number 353. I'm your host, Anthony Murphy of Mythical Ireland. Welcome to the library, wherever you are in the world watching this episode. It's exactly 8 p.m. Irish time. I wonder what time it is where you are. But good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. And as I say, you're very welcome. Whether this is the first time you've watched Live Irish Myths or the 353rd time or any number in between, you're all very welcome. This evening, we will be returning to the war for the Bull of Cuailnge, which is the major story of Lady Gregory's Cuchulain of Muirthemne, and which, of course, is her translation of the saga that we would know better as Toinbo Cuailnge, the cattle raid of Cúchulain. Pardon me, just the weekly reminder that it being the 8th of December, if you haven't already done so, you can order your copies, plural, see what I did there, of the 2026 Mythical Ireland calendar on the Mythical Ireland website. I will share that link where you can get it directly now. All going well, you'll have it for the new year. Just to say something briefly about that, I touched on it. I'm not sure if it was last week or the week before. We have had about a dozen calendars returned from the USA for non-payment of tariffs. Unfortunately, the way the tariffs are being charged is that they have to be paid before the item leaves Ireland. And what's been happening is our postal service in Ireland, which is called An Post, which is the Irish for the post, An Post have been emailing customers saying a charge of $12 or whatever it happens to be is due on this item. Some people are ignoring the email. Some people are refusing to pay it. Some people say they didn't receive the email. So in the case of the US purchasers who haven't received their calendar, please do check your email and your spam folder for an email from An Post. There is absolutely nothing I can do about that. Unfortunately, I'm completely hamstrung by the whole thing. Everyone else's calendars are making it, but I would say that the volume of mail this Christmas appears to be higher because both in Ireland and to the UK, some of the calendars are taking longer than they would usually take to get there. So as I say, if you've ordered one and you haven't yet received it, it's probably going to arrive in a few days. If you're worried about it, feel free to reach out by email and we'll follow it up here and see what we can do. And those of you who are living in Ireland, it's free postage, whether that's Ireland or Northern Ireland. For the entire island, it's free postage. Definitely, I would encourage you to take advantage of that. I'm delighted to report that episode number 27 of the Mythical Ireland podcast was recorded today. I'm going to give you a little bit of a preview or an exclusive on that one. And that is that the subject of that podcast is absolutely fascinating. And it is this. It is ring forts, which are the most commonly found archaeological monument in Ireland. There are at least 35,000, but an estimated 40 to 60,000 of them. Most of them date to the second half of the first millennium AD, but it seems that they were mostly abandoned as places where people lived and kept their livestock around the time of the coming of the Vikings, around the 10th century. And there's one academic, and we've had him on Live Irish Myths in conversation during the pandemic, Patrick McCafferty, who published a paper basically saying that he reckons a pathogen, most likely anthrax, was responsible for the plagues and diseases on people and cattle that are described in the Irish annals, the chronicles of events in Ireland. And that this may explain why there's so much superstition around the rats, the liches, the fairy forts, as they're called, that you shouldn't go near them and that you shouldn't interfere with them in any way, or In some cases, bad luck will come upon you. In some cases, the fairy folk will take you away. And in some cases, very specifically, boils will rise up on your skin. A very, very interesting thesis. We had a long conversation today, and I hope to be publishing that tomorrow. And as with all of the Mythical Ireland podcasts, they are published first and foremost for Mythical Ireland patrons over on patreon.com/Mythical Ireland. The address for Patreon is scrolling on the ticker tape at the bottom of this and every episode. To listen to the podcast, you have two choices. Either subscribe at the Bronze Age level or above. That will cost you the princely sum of $10 per month, or the equivalent of $2.50 per month, or the equivalent in your currency. In Great British pounds, that's £8 sterling per month. In euros, that's €9 per month. Alternatively, if you don't want to subscribe and become a patron, you can pay a one-off fee of $10 to listen to the episode. Anyway, I hope you enjoy that. I'm absolutely sure that you will. And as I've been saying lately, it is my intention to increase the frequency of the podcasts and to publish them weekly. Anyway, before we get started on story time, let's say hello to some good folks who have joined us and are watching currently on either the Mythical Ireland Facebook page or the Mythical Ireland YouTube channel. Johnny Wilson from Dallas is the first to comment today. It's 10 degrees right now in Dallas, which isn't a whole lot warmer than it is here. It's 10 degrees Celsius at Dublin Airport right now. How often does that happen, Johnny? Has that ever happened before, that we're the same temperature? There you go. Fascinating. Anyway, a very good afternoon to you. Thanks for joining us. Lily Shambles, watching on YouTube, is saying, please stay safe in Storm Bran. We have yellow wind for this part of the country. There's red now. Oh, it's been increasing. Red for the northwest. But we're on a yellow, are we? Tuesday the 9th, yes. We're on a yellow warning for flooding, for rain and wind. So, yeah, there's a storm coming tomorrow. If you're in Ireland, especially if you're in the red, although the red seems to be coastal, stay safe. Avoid travel if you can. Do whatever you can to keep yourself safe. It's called Storm Bram, presumably after Bram Stoker, the author of Dracula, who was Irish. Mary Rouse is in the house. Hello, everyone. Hello, Mary. Welcome to Live Irish Myths. Catherine Hupp is saying hello from Colorado. Good afternoon, Catherine. Hupp! I like that. That sounds like a triumphant sort of celebration, doesn't it? We're celebrating the fact that Catherine has joined us. Elaine Dent-Lingenfelter, it's 11 Celsius in a slightly warmer part of Texas than Johnny. 1 degree. Is it worth fighting over? Rex Q. Fortenberry says a great big greetings to all of the mighty Tua from a cool and pleasant swampy Louisiana. Ready to rock and or roll with some goodly Irish mythos. Brilliant stuff, Rex. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoy it. Brian M. McKay says tá fáilte agus fascoá atua trononoa avrian agus conas atá tu. Nico and Stephen are in the house. Good Anthony and Mythflux family. Typo there. Mythflux. An early Merry Christmas to you, or a happy holidays. Mouse and her crew send tail wags to all. Looking forward to this as I betoke my toe. And you broke your toe. Plenty of rest. Put your feet up. Watch plenty of episodes of Live Irish Myths. Yeah. So I'm just going to say quietly so that he doesn't hear me. Mr. K is already in the room. He has found a comfortable spot on the floor and is currently sort of just nice and relaxed. Expect at any moment for him to come over, demanding his 2-minute appearance in front of the camera. Helen Hirsch Chader is in the house. Good evening, friends, from the blustery Black Hills of South Dakota. A very good afternoon to you, Helen. Hope you are doing well and doing plenty of writing and research, which I think when that's published, I think we're all going to have a big interest in that. Auntie Joe Butler is saying hello from Colorado. Is everyone doing all right? my sincere hope is that everybody's doing better than all right. But hey, some people, there's things going on. So if you're just all right, that's fine. But we like the whole, we're brilliant, we're fantastic vibe. Anne Scott Doherty is saying greetings from Southern Oregon. Good afternoon, early afternoon to you, Anne, and a wave to Bill if he's watching there in the background or listening. Ross Theo is saying, hello, Mr. Anthony and Mighty Tour. Greetings from Puebla. It's 2 p.m. right now, and the weather is nice and a bit cool. 19 degrees. Yeah, it's amazing. You call 19 cool. I would call that, that's a balmy summer day. Amanda June Haggerty is here. Hey. Hello, Amanda June. Plenty of commentary going on social media this week in relation to Drogheda City. We had a massive storm last night in Blarney. All was quiet. Then there was a boom of thunder in the sky. Oh, I saw. Hello there. I saw that on several of the weather channels that I follow online, that there were thunderstorms out in the Atlantic, and they were heading for the southwest coast. And they did obviously make landfall at a certain point, I haven't got my 2 extra calendars yet. The first one came fast. I assume we were close to Christmas. Yeah, that's... You coming up? Come on. Oh, there he is. I assume that's just part of... Yeah, I think that's what's going on, Amanda. There seems to be a bigger volume this year. I would say on Post are definitely behind schedule with Irish deliveries compared to, what's the story? Can you see? Look. Coda, look. Who's that? Look. No, not yeah. He thinks I'm pointing to the drawer. Look here. Look. No, he's going to investigate now. No. So you can't. You either come up. They want to see you. There's no point in staying down there. Oh, all right then. Good boy. Now he's happy. Helen is saying thanks. We'll check for an email. Actually, I wonder, Helen, was yours one of the ones that came back? And so just to say, again, one of the things that definitely has happened to a few people is they did not see an email from On Post. Anyway, just you might check for that. What have you got? He's giving me an offering of a sock or cloth or something. He's... There's quite an astrological cosmology that can be plucked right out of Gaelic dictionaries. It looks like an astrolabe in Muirthemne, my head right now. Yeah, and it's something I've kind of dipped into on and off over the years in some of my books and some of my blog posts. But I think there's a bigger work to be done. Moncon, the late Moncon, I have to say, I still can't believe he's gone to the next realm. He did mention during our podcast in Clonakilty about... I think that was the event he mentioned it, about an Irish scholar who was putting together, references to, well, I think it was more astronomy, but I mean, in former times, there may not have been much of a distinction made between what we now call astronomy and what we now call astrology. Sue Pranter, calendars arrived and so delighted. Evening all. Hope you're keeping well. Well, that's a victory, Sue, I can tell you, because as I said, we've got 12 or 14 envelopes in the past number of days that have been coming back. It's a bit of a nightmare because generally we get every year, in terms of calendars, we might get 2 or 3 that get returned because postal address, was the postal address that was on it there was nobody there to collect it, or there's wrong address or something. Not our fault, because we just copy and paste the address that's given on the order. But this year, as I said, a higher than usual volume of returns. Most of them from the US and all of them related to tariffs. I will say no more. Barbara Murphy is there, but she's... What? Stop nudging me. I'm trying to do a live stream here, can't you see? I am. Oh. More. He's back for more. So Barbara's talking to Lexi. But hello, Barbara. Erica Bow is in the house. Good afternoon, Erica. I hope you're well. Oh, there's Barbara now. Hello, everyone, from a nice 71 Fahrenheit, Tucson. Nice, but we may hit 80 by Friday. 71, let's just convert that for the Europeans 21.6667. Let's call that 22 degrees Celsius. That's a nice warm day. By Irish standards, it certainly is. Adina Spark says it's a cool 52 in New Mexico. Are you in? You told me before you're near Albuquerque. Are you? 11. Okay, that's a lot cooler. That's not much warmer than it is here right now. Lee Wright is saying good evening from a wet and windy Port Rush. Port Rush, is that Port Rush in the county of Antrim, way up in the far north of Ireland? The Port Rush Flyer. Isn't that an annual steam train by the Irish Railway Preservation Society? Now, I'm sorry, but you know you can't keep doing this. I've got a live stream to do. I know, I'm sorry. I'm watching on both to help the algorithm, as always. Yay. Thank you very much, Rossio. That's absolutely brilliant. I remember on account from the borderlands in Alba from the plague, they would either isolate or be buried in their homes, possibly. I think Patrick McCafferty mentioned that today in our conversation. And actually, do you know what? I'm not entirely sure. Let me just play the. I haven't edited it yet, but oh yeah, it's a minute. Sorry, a minute. It's an hour and 13 minutes long, so 83 minutes. Hope you enjoy that. Whoever is subscribed to the Mythical Ireland podcast, and you do so at the link on the bottom of the screen. Steve's art page. Hello, Anthony, and all gathered here today. 20 degrees here in south central Wisconsin. That's all right. We'll take that. That's nice. And very good afternoon to you, Steve. Thanks for joining us. Ola Conrad says hello from foggy but mild Denmark. Greetings here. When you say mild by Denmarkish, yes, Anthony, Danish standards, what are we talking about in Celsius? It's 11 degrees Celsius in Cork, says Amanda June. There you go. You're a degree warmer than we are up here. Weird. I'm getting double sound from different times. Yuck. Have you got two tabs open? Maybe the stream is playing twice. I don't know. John Inman is saying 8.9L. John, good afternoon. I don't mind telling you your message is very cryptic. Is it a puzzle? Should we get Mensa to try and solve it? Or is it just a typo? Or is it, maybe you might explain. Great Scott, we need to get a myth flux capacitor. Very good. Quick off the mark. Finally, I got on. I'm on now, I think. You are on, Lexi. Well, certainly your comment is showing up. A very good afternoon to you, and thanks for joining us. Goddess Bonia is saying all the calendars are well received from the US West Coast to Berlin. Gurad Mahagot Anthony, wild and stormy in Crete. Zeus is angry. That's John Main. I'm delighted to hear that, John, because as you might have been hearing, we've been having a little bit of a nightmare with some of the calendars, mostly US, and as I say, tariff related. Brendan Byrne can't stay tonight. Batten down the hatches here. At least my calendar arrived to give me a boost. Love the October picture. Ooh. I don't have one at hand, but I do have a digital copy on my computer, so I can quickly check what is the October picture. Let's keep people. My assistant, she's going to come and say hello, and no, she's not. She's very shy. Okay, all right, no problem. We'll double check that. Oh yeah, the star and crescent, the cow and the calf, the Cailleach and the Cailleachine. Anyway, Brendan, thanks for saying hello. And I hope the reason you're not able to stay around is extremely important. Otherwise, people will be asking questions. What could be more important than live Irish myths in your life right now? Sally Siggins is saying evening from Sligo. Sally, for those of you who don't know, is the chief guide manager. I don't know your exact title at Carrowmore. And it's the most amazing Neolithic complex, older than Brunabonia. And she's an all-round fantastic advocate for Irish prehistory and archaeology and everything to do with the past. And am I right in saying you're kind of on your winter break now, Sally? Coda's not letting me talk. Anyway, a very good evening, and I hope it looks like it's going to be windier where you are tomorrow than over here in Louth. So stay safe, Sally. Depends on how fast Anthony can read. Got to build up the gigawatts. What is your email so I can order the calendars? Oh, yeah. That's very easy. There's two addresses. Either mythicalireland@gmail.com or Anthony@mythicalireland.com. So whichever one you want to use, Lexi. I'll keep an eye out for that. Okay. Barbara has an explanation for why there were two versions of me being heard. Ivania Lee, good morning, good morning. Morena from the land of the long white cloud, Aotearoa, New Zealand, Jigwich, Creoso to the mighty Tua from the mighty Waikato. It's 21 Celsius on Tuesday the 9th at 9:13 a.m. Wow. So you posted that 8 minutes ago, and it's now 21 minutes past 8 here. I better get my act together. Anyway, good morning to you, Ivania. Thanks for joining us. Creoso, Morena, Croaso, is it? I don't know how to pronounce that, so my apologies. But delighted that you are tuning in. And happy Tuesday from all of us in Monday. Richard Burgess is saying hello from a cold New York. Still plenty of snow left from last week. Calendars arrived just fine once the devil got his due. Okay, so you had to pay the... Thank you, Richard. I'm glad to hear that. Very relieved. Comedy JC. Don't forget we use Fahrenheit here in the States. Oh, I always do the conversions. Don't worry. Always do the conversions. It's 23 in what? Is that 23 Fahrenheit in Massachusetts? Because that's cold. 23 Fahrenheit is like -5 Celsius. Or is it 23 Celsius? Comedy JC, you might confirm. But yeah, I always try to do the conversions because we have a mix of Irish and British and European viewers, as well as US and Canada, Mexico, sometimes South America, and quite regularly Australia and New Zealand as well. Alan Hoskins says, hi everyone from Ballina-Killaloe, the calm before the storm here. Hope all are well and I hope these get through on YouTube. Don't think last week's made it. Enjoy the stream. They certainly did, Alan. And thank you for your comment. Kelly Nikali saying, sorry about the tariffs. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, anybody who's in business will know they're just not a good idea. They damage trade. They're not productive. And they harm small businesses like mine, ultimately. And they give me an administrative pain in the backside. And, people are already paying. It's $18 to ship a calendar from Ireland to the US. It's expensive. It's the only option available because we only have one postal service. And that doesn't include a tariff. So it's expensive and messy and just stupid and not needed. Anne McCallum says, hello, Anton and all the mighty Tua. Hope everyone's in good health. We've had quite a bit of snow over the past week and it's been cold enough that it's not melting away. It's -4 and heading back down to -8 Celsius. Once again, another fine day to listen to story time. And I'm happy to say that after close to 4 months, I was discharged from rehab. Yay. Still using a walker and wheelchair and getting physiotherapy, but at home now for another 6 weeks or so. Brilliant stuff, Anne. I'm delighted. And the very, very best of health and luck to you as you continue your recovery. Alan Temple Music is saying, hi, glad to catch you live. Just discovered your channel. What a great labor of love you're doing. Yeah, it's been going for 26 years now, Alan. Can you believe it? Well, 25 years since Mythical Ireland made its first appearance as a website in the year 2000. But I've been on this particular journey for 26 years. Anyway, great for you to join us. And the good news is, this is episode 353. If you want to go deep into Irish myth and folklore and legend and astronomy and prehistory and archaeology and anthropology and all of that, you've got 352 other episodes to watch. So enjoy it. Joseph McGrail, bait up. Hello there. Good day, Mike. Good morning. And it must be early there. Is it 8 a.m.? Was it 7 a.m.? 7:25 a.m. 8? Anyway, Joe, great to see you. Hope you're keeping well. Hope you're still ringing that bell and doing the whole town crier thing. Hey now, Anthony, you can't train Coda, says Amanda June Haggerty, to do appearances and then complain when he tarts, enjoying them too much. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I encourage it. What do I expect? Glad to catch you. Yes, okay, that's Alan again. Sorry, apologies. Catherine Cleary says, happy to be joining you all from Sparking, San Diego, California. Just picked up a fresh pizza from local Italian restaurant I've been going to since a child. Wish I could share with you all. Wow, nice. Now, come on, you might as well come up. Make it 3 appearances in a row. Come here. Well, yeah. There you go. Just for the latecomers who haven't seen. Oh, lovely. My pants are now stained. Oh well, I guess I'll be changing those. Thank you. Right, that's enough now. They've had enough. Honestly, they're all saying, "Oh, we wish Code would go away. We don't like seeing him." Like hell. Yeah. All right. Yeah. We'd like a slice of that pizza. Thank you for thinking of us, Catherine, and good afternoon to you. Michelle Niruni is saying, newcomer here. Hi all, nice to meet everyone from Dublin town originally, from Dublin/down originally, but joining you from Geneva, Switzerland. Very good night to you, Michelle. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, what a deep dive you have in store if you're interested in all this stuff. 353 episodes plus conversation episodes plus episodes of book talk that we did in 2020, plus the Mythical Ireland website, which is vast. Sign up for the email newsletter on the website. That's free. If you want to become a patron, there's 27 episodes of the podcast, plus lots more exclusive articles, blog posts, pictures, videos, audio. So yeah, that's a nice way of saying welcome. Adina is delighted to hear about Anne McCallum's recovery. It's going to be 37 degrees in Canberra today. Wow. Make sure you have the sunscreen on and put a hat in your head, Joe. Michael P. Troff says, Kia ora tua people from a New Zealand Aotearoa, 20 Celsius, Tuesday morning, 9:20 a.m. Very good morning to you, Michael. Thank you for joining us. Happy Tuesday to you from all of us who are still in Monday. Ivania Lee has also joined us from your part of the world. So there are two of you watching who are in Tuesday. Daniel Defoe, in his Journal of a Plague Year, says to the comment of the plague. Did I miss another comment from you, John? You can afford an assistant now, lol. Yeah, I can assure you she gets well paid. She's like in the background going, yeah, chance to be a fine thing. We'll get there. Everybody's saying hello to handsome Coda. Hoping to get to the Panto in the evening. That's tomorrow. Carramore closed Wednesday, 3rd of December. Research on Maeve's cairn is ongoing. Is that your research or other research? Tell us more. Enjoy the Panto. Barb Jordan expecting -2 Fahrenheit this evening. That's -19 Celsius. Oh my God. You'd go outside and you'd just freeze. You'd turn into an icicle. If you breathe, you know, the steam of your breath would just form a sort of a hailstorm, you know. 7:30 a.m. You see, people get up at all hours of the day and night to watch this. Are they charging you full postage for the returned mail? Well, the customer pays the postage. So if you're in the US and you're paying, say, $18 to get your calendar shipped, if I get it returned, if you want it sent again, I have to pay for postage again. Or you have to pay for whatever. So this is something that we have to talk about to all the customers whose mail is being returned. And it's very time consuming as well on top. But anyway. Would you someday create a keyword index for your 353 episodes, Tasky? No. is the immediate answer, but yes is also the answer. I wouldn't do it because it's too time consuming, but I'm absolutely sure there's an AI app now that could literally listen to all the episodes and highlight them. So there's an app, a free app that is called Fathom, that I've been using as an assistant on meetings, and it provides you with a full summary of everything you and whoever else was in the meeting discussed, and it's brilliant. So I imagine something like that. Yeah, if you want to do that, or you want to suggest, like the videos are all there on the YouTube channel, and I do think it's a great idea. Do I have the time to do it? Not really. So if somebody else would take that on, Kathy or Kelly, absolutely, I would say yes. You know, Croissau, or Croissau. It's Welsh for welcome. If interested, language derives from the word Christ, probably from crow's cross, or croix. Croiso, welcome. Christ is risen. How do you reply to thank you in Welsh? Croiso means you're both welcome. Means both you're welcome, the response to thank you, and simply welcome. Even now, the names of many places in Wales begin with clan, clanfair, piddle-widdle, go, go, go. Llandudno, yes. It means church, yes. And there is a place here in Louth called Dunleer, and the Irish is Lán Léire, the Church of Léire. Jigwich is a traditional Irish. Yes. It literally means God be with you. Exactly. Yes. Irish Military Museum. Ha! Hello, everyone. Is that Stephanie Eilenberg by any chance? Hello, Irish Military Museum. Just a few miles out the road at Starina, near Cullen in the county of Louth. My own research on Knocknarea, funded by Roy. Oh, brilliant. It's testing out a new ground-penetrating radar system on a drone. More data analysis and some National Monument Service stuff to clear before publishing next year. Oh, brilliant. Oh, wow. So A, look forward to seeing the publication. B, will write a blog post about it. C, will get you on for a podcast if you're interested. And yeah, look, just the best of luck with that, and hope I'm sure that will be absolutely fascinating. Keep us posted. Peter Kennedy is saying good evening from himself and Toby and Buddy in Ballybriggy to Madry. Madra a hain August Madra a do. Brilliant stuff, Lexi, about the calendars and the book. Yes, that's me, says Stephanie. Am I pronouncing your surname correctly? Is it Eichlenberg or Eichlenberg? I'm not sure about the H. Do I just ignore the H? I've caught up. It's about bloody time. We've been on for over half an hour. Back to reading. We are still reading The War for the Bull of Cuailnge. So basically, what we do for the newcomers is we pick up where we left off last week. We are on the 4th episode of this particular story, which is the longest one of the Cuchulain Ulster Cycle saga. Well, it's a saga in itself, actually. It may seem a little bit out of context for the few of you who are newcomers, but hey, don't worry about that. We'll have plenty of fun. And you can view back the previous episodes. As I said, they're all archived on the Mythical Ireland YouTube channel. And while you're there, obviously subscribe, Have to get you back on my show next year, says Joe. Are your viewers not fed up of having me on? Have I not been on, was it 3 or 4 times already? Can they hack another appearance by me? Of course, I'd be honoured and delighted to do so. Always have great fun, by the way. Joseph McGrail bait up one of the hosts, well, I think the main host of the No Name Trivia Show, which, if you haven't seen it, you should watch. It's great fun. What are the rules? There are no rules. Anyway, so let's carry on where we left off and do it promptly, Anthony, because kind of time is pressing on. Apparently they love me. I'm glad to hear it. That's great. Eilenberg, sort of. You're pronouncing it correctly. Well done. Eilenberg. Brilliant. Thank you, Stephanie. Then Leg saw a man coming through the camp from the northeast. "There is a man coming towards us, little hound." It's funny how he should call Cuchulain little hound, he said. "What is the appearance on him?" said Cuchulain. "He is very tall and handsome and shining, and he has a green cloak about him, fastened with a silver brooch, a shirt of silk that is embroidered with red gold, falling to his knees, a black shield in his hand, with a border of white bronze, and a spear with 5 prongs. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever heard, outside of Irish myth, of a spear with 5 prongs? Tom King, who's not watching because he's probably busy with visitors to the forge, Tom King could make such a thing, I'm sure of it. "And it is a strange thing," he said, "that no one in the whole camp seems to see him or to take any heed of him." Well, I'm predicting he must be one of the she-folk. "That is so," said Cuchulain, "and the men of Ireland take no heed of him because they cannot see him. And I know well it is one of my friends among the she that is coming to give me help and relief, for they know it is hard for me to be standing alone against the 4 provinces of Ireland." Kathy May Deo is in the house. Hello, Kathy. I haven't been here in a while, been so busy, but finally got all my remodel done and ready for Christmas. Hope all are doing well. It's great to see you, Kathy. May, thanks for saying hello. And yeah, well done on getting the remodeling done and being ready for Christmas. We're ready for Christmas, aren't we? Yeah, right. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's a work in progress. Yeah. Anyway, great to see you, Kathy. "Then the man of the she, that was Lou of the long hand, came and spoke with Cuchulain, and it is what he said, that he knew he was tired out and in want of sleep. 'And sleep now, Cuchulain,' he said, 'by the grave in the Lurga, and I myself will keep watch over you till the end of 3 days and 3 nights.' So Cuchulain fell asleep there and then by the grave that is in Lurga. And no wonder in that, for he had been fighting since before the feast of Samhain without sleep, but all the while killing and attacking and destroying the men of Ireland, unless he might sleep a little while beside his spear in the middle of the day, his head on his hand, and his hand on his spear, and his spear on his knee." Strange way to fall asleep, but if you're tired enough, hey, you could sleep anywhere. "And while he was lying in his heavy sleep, the man of the she put druid herbs on his wounds so that they were all healed." So this is Lou Lawfather, or Lou MacEthnan, Lou Samaldonach, who is not only one of the great luminaries of the Tuatha De Danann, he is Cuchulain's spiritual father. And Cuchulain, of course, Setanta as a boy, was conceived at Newgrange by Lou and Dectana, and his earthly father is Soltum. So he slept for 3 days and 3 nights, and at the end of that time he rose up and passed his hand over his face, and he blushed red from head to foot with the strengthening of his courage that he felt in him, and he would have been ready to go there and then into any great gathering or feasting hall in all Ireland. "How long have I been in my sleep?" he asked the man. 3 days and 3 nights. "Then you have done me a bad turn indeed." Sorry, just taking a margin note. As I am wont to do regularly. "Then you've done me a bad turn indeed," he said, "for the men of Ireland have been left in quiet all that time." "They were not indeed," said the man. "Who was it stood up to them?" said Cuchulain. "It was the boy troop came from the north, from Awan Macha," he said. 3 times 50 sons of the chief men of Ulster, and they attacked the army 3 times, and they killed 3 times their own number. I make that 450. But they themselves were all killed in the end. "And Folaman, son of Conchovar, was leading them, and he had made a boast that he would never go home again unless he could bring Ailill's head along with him, and the gold crown that was on it. Actually, that's interesting, isn't it? We don't usually see, you don't sort of, we don't associate the trappings of monarchy with Irish kings, uh, like marble thrones and scepters and jewel encrusted crowns. But here we do have a mention of a gold crown. But two foster sons of Ailill, the two sons of Bechach, son of Bain, fell on him and wounded him, so that he got his death. My grief, and oh, my grief that I was not there, said Cuchulain. For if I had been in it, the boy troop would never have been destroyed, and Conchobar's son would not have come to his death. Do not be fretting, little hound, said the strange man. There is no reproach on your name by it. Stop here with me tonight, said Cuchulain, and the two of us together will avenge the boy troop. I will not indeed, said he, but let you yourself play the game out now with the men of Ireland, for it is not they that have the power over your life at this time. Wow. Basically another way of saying you're going to hack them all to pieces, and we're going to hear loads of cathunks, thwap, swoosh, swoosh, kersplat, and the other sounds associated with the lopping off of heads and the mass killings of lots of warriors who come up against Cuchulain. Brian tells us 5 prongs is a fishing spear, or like frogging particularly. Some are spring-loaded and extend from the shaft. Wow, you learn something new every day. Or did the monks add the crown because they thought it was necessary? Actually, I don't know, and I'd like to see the original, the Irish. With that, he went away, and Cuchulain said to Laeg, yoke the scythed chariot for me now, if you have the things belonging to it. The things. Very mysterious. Then Laeg rose up and got ready the chariot, and he put on his light dress of deerskins that was spotted and striped and close-fitting, so that his arms were left free. And over that he put his raven black cloak and his shining helmet on his head, and on his forehead he put the narrow band of gold that chariot drivers were used to wear. And then he threw over the horses the cloths that covered them all over, and that were studded with little blades and spikes and points, so that every time the chariot moved, it brought some sharp point against those that were near it, so that every point and every head of the chariot would cut its sure path. And he gathered the reins in his hand, and the goad, and the long whip. And then Cuchulain put on his armour, and took his spears and his sword, and his shield that had a rim so sharp it would cut a hair against the stream, and his cloak that was made of the precious fleeces of the land of the she wool, like wow, yeah, interesting, that had been brought to him by Manannán from the kings of Sorcha. He went out then against the men of Ireland and attacked them, and his anger came on him, so that it was not his own appearance he had on him, but the appearance of a god. So just after he's given 3 days and 3 nights rest by his spiritual father, who is the Tuatha Dé Danann deity, Lugh Lawfada, he basically goes out to battle and takes on the appearance of a god himself. And after that, imagine that the monks had to write this stuff down. Very challenging to their first commandment. And after that, he turned back and left them. And there was no wound on himself or on the horses or on leg that day. And he made a round of the whole army, mowing them down on every side in revenge for the boy troop of Owen. So now, folks, we need a new sound. What sound does it make when a horse and a chariot, it's mainly the horses, are covered in little blades and spikes and points that basically cut and stab people as the horse moves amongst them? And now we need a new sound. But the next day he was standing on the hill, young and comely and shining, and the cloud of his anger had gone from him. Then the women and the young girls in the camp, and the poets and the singers, came out to look at him. But Maeve hid her face behind a shelter of shields, thinking he might make a cast at her with his sling. And there was wonder on these women to see him so quiet and so gentle today, and he such a terror to the whole army yesterday. And they bade the men lift them up on their shields to the height of their shoulders, the way they could have a good sight of him. But Dovtak, the beetle of Ulster, did he look like Paul McCartney or John Lennon, saw his own wife climbing up with the other women to look at Cuchulain, and great anger and jealousy came on him. And he said to the chief men of the army that it would be best for them to surround Cuchulain secretly on all sides, and then to let on to be fighting among themselves, so as to lead him down where he could not escape them. But when Fergus was told this, he gave a great kick of his foot to Dovtak, and he told him he would be well paid for the harm he had planned, whenever the men of Ulster would get up from their weakness and come out to help Cuchulain. Clink, 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 splat. Clink, 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 splat. That's Peter's suggestion. What a detailed, colourful description. Wow, I know, right? Whickety, 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 swish, foom, blap. I love it. Yeah. I'm sorry. I wrote these down, but I'm going to have to actually copy and paste them. I just the noise when Cuchulain's horse, covered with spikes and blades, slashes through the army. And the noise is whickety, 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 swish, squish, foom, foomp, blap. I like it. It's certainly inventive. Let's call it what it is. Yeah, that's very funny. Sorry, I know I'm getting distracted. I'm easily distracted. And Peter's suggestion, which was clink, 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 splat. Clink, 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 splat. And that was Rex QF. Waka, 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 waka. Whoops, that's Fuzzy Bear. Brilliant. Darn, too many wackas, lol. Chaka, raka, raka, raka. Is that? Am I right? Chaka. Chaka, kak, says Ola. To add to, well, kafunk, which is the sound of someone's head being lopped off by Cuchulain. Lynn White, lovely Mr. Murphy. I tried to listen to Werewolf, but my phone froze. Werewolf? Oh, you mean the Wolves podcast? I thought I know that voice from Sea Warrior. Sea Warrior. Oh, you should definitely be a warrior, not a warrior. Yeah, brilliant. And that night, I'm talking about the responses to the My own favourite right now is Wickety, 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 Squish, Foomp, Blap. Yeah. And that night, yeah. And that night, the army of Ireland made their camp at the Great Stone in the country of Ross. And then Maeve asked which of them would go out and fight with Cuchulain on the morrow. At this stage, they should all be saying, do you know what, I'll pass. I think we should just go home. Let's call it a day. But every one of the men of Ulster said, it is not I that will go. Exactly. It is not one of my family that should be sent to his death. Then Maeve asked Fergus to go out and fight him. It is not right for you, said Fergus, to ask me to go against a young boy, and he my own pupil and my foster son. But Maeve pressed him so hard that he could not but take the work in hand. And early in the morning he went out to the ford of fighting, where Cuchulain was. When Cuchulain saw him coming, he said, truly, my master, it is not safe for you to come and fight, and you without a sword. For Ailill had not given him back his own sword yet. It is no matter, he said, for if I had a sword in my sheath, it is not on you I would use it. And now, Cuchulain, he said, for the sake of all I did for you, and all Conchovar and the whole of Ulster did for you in your bringing up, let you give way before me today in the sight of the men of Ireland. Indeed, I am loath to give way before any man in this war, said Cuchulain. You need not mind that, said Fergus, for I will do the same for you when the great last battle of this war is fought. It is then I will turn and run before you, when you are covered with wounds and with blood. And if I run then, he said, all the men of Ireland will run along with me. So Cuchulain agreed to do that, because it would be for the profit of Ulster. And he bade Laig make ready his chariot, and presently, as if he had been beaten by Fergus, he gave way to him in the sight of the men of Ireland. When they saw it, they called out, he is running before you, Fergus. And Maeve called out, follow him, Fergus, make haste, the way he will not escape you. I will not indeed, said Fergus. I will follow him no farther. And if you think I did not make him run far enough, he said, I did more than all the rest of the men that went against him up to this. And I will make no other attack on him, he said, until all the men of Ireland have fought with him one by one. So that was the end of the fight between Fergus and Cuchulain. There was a man of Connacht at that time whose name was Ferchu, and he had been at war, which literally means manhound, does it? Ferchu. Brian, any opinions? Ferchu, that manhound, man dog. And he had been at war with Ailill and Maeve from the time they got the kingdom. And he used to be robbing the country and destroying it, so that he was made an outlaw. And some of his men heard that the whole army of Connacht was being vexed and hindered by one man. And when they told it to Ferchu, he said, it would be a good chance for us to go and attack that man, and to bring his head with us to Ailill and Maeve. For if we do that, he said, they will forgive us all the harm we have done their country. So I'm reading Lynn Murphy. I'm reading this. Yes, I'm Murphy, like you. Star, you're going to find something special. Something to do with sound. Could be one of those machines that detect things. Interesting. Thank you, Lynn. And we'll remember that it was you that said it. Yep, man dog, wolf man, Macchira would be similar. Okay, Ferchu. Mavanwe, I am here at the 11th hour. I see the sound effects are intensifying. Yeah. We had Cuchulain put a drape over his horses made for him by Manannán that had spikes and blades and needles sticking out of it. And he went round the Ulster Army, not the Ulster Army, the Knaves Army, and, was cutting them down. And I said, what kind of sound would that make? And Rex suggested whickety, 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 squish, thump, blap, which I thought was... and Peter said, clink, 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 splat, clink, clink, splat. And Ulla suggested chaka, kaka, kak. You're at ESP, as was thinking of sound, got message from over the veil for Mr. A. Murphy. I'm going to discover, you're going to find something special, something to do with sound. Wow. Mavanwe says, oh no, sounds very gory. Yeah. He's found more efficient ways to kill them by the dozen. The single combat days seem to be in the past, although he ran from Fergus there because he had to. So he himself and his 12 men went forward to where Cuchulain was. And they attacked him all together. But Cuchulain was not long in making an end of them. And he struck off their heads and put them on 12 stones. So, sound effects. Kathunk, 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 kathunk. And put them on 12 stones. And he put Fercu's head on a stone by itself. Oh, kathunk. And followed by what plonk, 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 placing them on stones. Like the gladiator. Yeah, with the swords attached to the wheels, the blades. Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah. I can't do that, unfortunately, Brian, unless I apply for an archaeological license. It is illegal to use one of those to in the Republic. It certainly is anyway. But anyway, hey, thank you for the message, Lynn. I've lost my place. No wonder. I keep getting distracted. It's all your fault, people. I'm joking, of course. You're all wonderful. Then the men of Ireland consulted together again who they would send out to fight on the next day. And it is what they all said, that it was Calatin and his 27 sons and his sister's son, Glas, son of Delga, should go out. And I make that 27 plus 1 equals 29. 27 equals tropical lunar month. 29 equals sidereal. Interesting. Now, it is the way they were. Every man of them had poison in himself and in his weapons. And there was not one of them ever made a cast of a spear or a stone that missed. And there was no one that would be wounded by them, but he would die, either on the spot or within the week. So great rewards were promised them if they would go out against Cuchulain. And Fergus was there at the time the business was knotted, Knotted. And surely, everyone said, they are only one man, for they are all members of Calatin's body. And even that's curious, isn't it? This definitely does sound astronomical / astrological. Go to the beach. Catherine Hupp. I did say hello to Catherine Hupp earlier. Comment just popping up again. Hi, Catherine. Again. Hi. And surely, everyone said, they're only one man, for they're all members of Calatin's body. After that, Fergus went into his tent to his people, and he gave a deep groan of trouble. And he said, my grief for the thing that is to be done tomorrow. What thing is that? Said they all. Cuchulain to be killed, he said. Who would kill him? Said they. Calatin and his sons, he said. And if there's any of you would go and watch the fight and bring me word what happens, I will give him a good reward and my blessing. I will go, said Fiacha, son of Feraba. So in the morning, Calatin, with his sons and his sister's son, rose up and went to where Cuchulain was. Even that, rose up. And Fiacha, son of Feraba, went along with them. And as soon as they came near him, they threw their 29 spears at him all together in one cast, and not one of them drew blood, for he caught them all on his shield. I think they're talking about Orion here, 29 lunar days. Orion's shield, perhaps? Then Cuchulain drew his sword from the sheath to hack off the spears and to lighten his shield. But while he was doing that, they all ran at him as one man and put their 29 right hands on his head and forced his face down to the gravel and the sand of the ford. And he gave out his great hero cry, and the cry of a man in unequal fight. And there was not a man in the camp, and he not dead or asleep, but heard it. Then Fiacha, son of Feraba, came up, and when he saw what had happened, the love of his own countryman came over him. And he pulled out his sword and hit the 9 and 20 hands off Calatin and his sons with one blow. Cuchulain raised up his head then and gave a deep sigh of relief, and he saw who it was had come to his help. That was done quiet and easy, my good comrade, he said. You may think it is quiet and easy I was, said Fiacha. But if what I did is heard of in the camp, the reward that will fall on me will not be quiet and easy. For if the men of the children of Ruria should hear of the stroke I made for you, it is with sword and spear my reward will be paid. I give you my word, said Cuchulain, that now I have lifted my head and got my breath again, unless you tell tales on yourself, none of these men will tell tales on you. Catherine had to leave and return. Yeah. Yeah. A head count, Peter. Yeah, interesting. I mean, can't be difficult to do. Well, I mean, it would take reading and taking notes and all the rest, but it would certainly be a big number, I think. With that, he made an attack on Calatin and his sons, and he began to hack and to cut at them, till there was nothing left of them but limbs and little pieces, eastward and westward, over the whole face of the ford. And remember, the ford, Orion, the ford of the river Milky, the Milky Way, the heavenly Boyne. And what is a ford? A crossing point. And what crosses the ford of the Milky Way above Orion? The ecliptic, the sun, the moon, and the planets. Only one man of them, Glas, son of Delga, got away and ran. But Cuchulain rushed after him and gave him a great blow. But he got as far as Ailil and Maeve's tent, and all he could say was, Fiacha, Fiacha, before he fell dead. Now we need a new sound. Hacking and cutting at 29 of them until there was nothing left but limbs and little pieces. Fergus and Maeve said, what deaths are those he called out about? For Fiacha is the word for deaths in Irish, D-E-B-T-S. I do not know indeed, said Fergus, unless it might be that someone in the camp owed him a debt and that it was on his mind. That must have been so, said Ailil. By my word, said Fergus, however it was, all his debts are paid now. And at the ford where Calatin and his sons got their death, there is a stone with the marks of their sword hilts and the butt ends of their spears on it to this day. Then it was settled by the men of Ireland that it was Ferdia, son of Dara, the great champion of the men of Downand, that should go out and meet Cuchulain the next day. For they had the same way of fighting, and it was with the same teachers they had learned their knowledge of arms, with Scáthach, and with Uathach, and with Aoife, and neither of them had an advantage over the other, except that Cuchulain had the feet of the gay bullock, the barbed spear. But Ferdia had good armour to protect him against any man he would fight with. So they sent messengers to bring Ferdia, but he refused and would not come, for he knew what it was they wanted of him, to fight against his friend, his companion, and his fellow pupil, Cuchulain. Then Maeve sent the druids and the satirists to him, that they might make 3 hurtful satires and 3 hilltop satires on him, if he would not come with them. Wow, sorry, I'm taking notes. Apparently, in early medieval Ireland, the thing worse than being injured or maimed or killed was to be the subject, to be made the subject of a satire. If he would not come with them, so they would make 3 hurtful satires and 3 hilltop satires if he would not come with them. That would raise 3 blisters on his face, shame and blemish and reproach, so that if he did not die on the moment, he would be dead before the end of 9 days. Then Ferdia came with them for the sake of his good name, for he thought it better to fall by spears than by satires, which just exactly tallies with what I've just been saying. And when he came, he was received with honour and attendance, and he was served with pleasant drinks, so that he grew merry, and his mind was confused. And great rewards were offered him if he would go out against Cuchulain, clothes of all colours for his men, and speckled satins, and silver and gold, and the equal of his own lands, of the level plains of my eye, without rent or disturbance, secure to his son and to his grandson, and to their children, to the end of life and time. And it is what Maeve said. It is a great reward I am giving you, Ferdia. And why would you not accept it? Maybe because every single other person who you offered a reward ended up dead and wasn't able to enjoy that reward. Maybe that could be a tiny little factor in my decision. No, satire. S-A-T-I-R-E for those who are asking. That's all I think. I did indeed, Lexi, talk about fords and Drogheda. Drogheda Áha, the Irish for Drogheda, bridge at the ford. He just hasn't had enough. Fame I'm talking about, not necessarily attention. It is a great reward I'm giving you, Ferdia. And why would you not accept it? And Ferdia was making excuses. I will not take your reward without good pledges, he said. For it is a heavy fight is before me. He that has the name of Cuchulain is surely a good hound. I will give you a champion's pledge, said Maeve. You will not be bound to come to our gatherings. You will get horses and bridles. I will call you my friend above all other men. I will not go to this fight, said Ferdia. Oh, the sentence continues. Without some other securities, for this is a fight will be heard of till the end of life and time. Take all you want, said Maeve. There is no delay except with yourself. Bind us till you are satisfied by the right hand of kings and of princes. There is nothing I will refuse you. I must have 6 securities and no less, said Ferdia, before I will go out and be destroyed by Cuchulain and all the whole army looking on. So it seems he knew what faced him. Sorry. I will give you whatever securities you want, said Maeve, however hard it may be to come to them. Donal in his chariot, Neaman of the slaughter, both of them protectors of bards. Bind Moran if you want sure payment. Bind Carpera Min of Manond, he that has a string of knowledge in his harp. Bind your own 2 sons. O Maeve, it is a bitter woman you are, said Ferdia. It is not a gentle wife to a husband you are, but it is a fit queen you are, for Cuchulain of the swords, with your high talk and your fierce strength. But in spite of all the words you are stirring me up with, he said, if you would offer me the land and the sea, I would not take them without the sun and the moon along with them. You need not wait longer than today or tomorrow, said Maeve, before you will get your fill of all sorts of the jewels of the earth. And here is my brooch with its hooked pin, she said, and more than all that, Ferdia, so soon as you have killed this hound of feats, I will give you Findavar of the Champions, Queen of the West of Elga. Here she goes, offering her daughter to a warrior again. It's like, wow. Her own daughter. Helen tells us that Bandit is heading to see what dog is at the door, because he obviously heard Coda barking in the background. Would that be a big? Sorry, I have to share this. Would that be a big can of whoop ass, like they say in the South? Brilliant, Lexi. Yeah. Ferdia gave in to her then, and he bound her on the sureties of the aforesaid 6 for the fulfillment of her promises of the reward, and she bound him to fight with Cuchulain on the morrow. Then Fergus got his horses harnessed and his chariot yoked, and he went out to where Cuchulain was to tell him of all that had happened. My welcome before you, my master Fergus, said Cuchulain. I am glad of that welcome, my pupil, said Fergus. But what I am come for is to tell you who it is that is coming to fight at the early hour of the morning of tomorrow. I will listen to that, said Cuchulain. Your own friend and companion and fellow pupil, the man that learned the use of arms with you, Ferdia, son of Dara, the hero of the men of Downland. I give my word, said Cuchulain. It is not my wish, my friend, to come out against me. And now, said Fergus, you must be careful and ready more than any other time. For there was not the like of Ferdia among any of the men you have fought up to this. I am here, said Cuchulain, hindering and delaying the 4 great provinces of Ireland from the beginning of the winter to the beginning of the spring. And I have not drawn back 1 foot before any man in that time. And I think it likely I will not draw back before him. Neither has Ferdia any fear on him before you. Now his anger is stirred up, said Fergus. And besides that, he has good armour to protect him. Be quiet now, Fergus, and do not let me hear any more of that story, said Cuchulain. I was always well able to stand against him in any place or on any ground. It is not easy to get the better of him, said Fergus, for he is fierce in fighting, and he has the strength of 100. There will be a sharp fight when myself and Ferdia come to the ford, said Cuchulain. It will not be without being told in stories. Oh, wow, what a convoluted way of saying it will be told in stories. Oh, Cuchulain of the red sword, said Fergus. It would be better to me than a great reward, you to carry proud Ferdia's purple cloak eastward. I give my word and my oath, said Cuchulain. It is I myself will get the victory over Ferdia. Then Fergus went back to the encampment. At the same time, Ferdia went to his tent and to his people, and told them how he was bound by Maeve to fight with Cuchulain on the morrow. And he told how he had bound Maeve by 6 sureties for the fulfilment of her promises, if Cuchulain should fall by him. It is not happy in their minds the people of Ferdia's tent were that night, but gloomy and heavy-hearted, for they were sure that wherever Cuchulain and Ferdia would meet, it was there one of them would get his death, and they were sure that one would be their own master, for no one at all had been able to stand against Cuchulain since the beginning of the war. Ferdia slept through the early part of the night very heavily, and when the latter end of the night came, his sleep went from him, and his drunkenness had passed away, and the thought of the fight was pressing on him. And he bade his driver to harness the horses and to yoke his chariot. But the driver tried to turn him from it. It would be better for you to stop here than to go, he said, for my liking of it is not more than my disliking. Again, which is a way of saying, I don't like it. I got a really bad feeling about this. Don't go. Don't leave me now, no. Yeah, good question, Barbara. Do those poor daughters ever marry? Are they ever happy? Or are they just offered by their mother to various men for various reward? Like trinkets or pieces of gold or payment for something. Be silent, boy, said Ferdia, for I will not be turned from this journey by any young lad, but I will go to the ford, a ford the ravens will be croaking over. I will fight with Cuchulain till I wound his strong body, till I crush the courage out of him, the way that he will die. It would be better for you to stop here, said the driver, for it is not gentle your threats are. Your parting will be sorrowful. There is one to whom it will be a sickness. Grief will come of that meeting with Cuchulain. It is long it will be remembered. It is a pity for him who goes that journey. It is not right what you are saying, said Ferdia. It is not for a brave man to refuse. It is not in our race. I will delay no longer. Courage is better than fear. Let us set out now to the ford. Then Ferdia's horses were harnessed, and his chariot was yoked, and he went forward to the ford, and the day with its full light came upon him there. Now, boy, he said, spread out the skins and the cushions of my chariot under me here, until I get some sleep and rest. For I got no sleep at the end of the night, with the care of the fight upon me. So his servant unharnessed the horses, and settled the skins and cushions of the chariot under him, and the heavy rest of sleep came upon him. But as to Cuchulain, he did not rise up at all till the day had come with its full light. The way the men of Ireland would not say it was fear that was on him that made him rise. And when the day came, it would be as well, Laeg, he said, to yoke the chariot, for it is an early rising man that is coming to meet us today. The horses are harnessed, and the chariot is yoked, said Laeg. Let you get into it, and there will be no hindrance to your courage. With that, the ready-handed, battle-winning son of Sultan leaped into the chariot, and there shouted around him the Bachanachs and the Bananachs, and the witches of the valley. For the Sidhe were used to set up their shouts around him, the way the fear and the wonder would be great before him in every fight he would go into. And it was not long until Ferdia's driver heard the noise coming near, the straining of the harness, the creaking of the chariot, the ringing of the armour and of the shield, trampling of the horses, and joyful coming of Cuchulain to the ford. The driver came and laid his hand on his master. "Good Ferdia," he said, "rise up. Here they are coming, I hear," he said. Sorry, here they are coming. "I hear," he said, "the creaking of a chariot. It has come over Bray Ross near Branye. It has come over the highway at the foot of Balya in Billa. He is a mighty hound that urges it. He is a good driver that yokes it. He is a free hawk that hurries his horses towards the south. It is not he who will be slow in the fight. It is a pity for him that is on the height, waiting for the hound of valour. It is a year ago I foretold there would come a hound, the hound of Owen, a hound with all colours about him, the hound of Ulster, the hound of battle. I hear him. I have heard him coming." "Good servant," said Ferdia, "why is it you have been praising that man ever since you came out from the house? It is likely you are not without wages for your great praise of him. Yet it has been foretold to me by Ailil and by Maeve. It is he that will fall by me. And it is a time to help me," he said. "And let you be silent and give up praising him, that your foretelling may not come true. It is not for you to give up on the brink of the fight. Surely I will soon have the reward." And the driver said, "He is coming, not slowly, but quick as the wind, or as water from a high cliff, or like swift thunder." "Surely you have taken wages for these great praises you put on him," said Ferdia. "It is not against him you are, but praising him and putting a great name on him." It was not long then until Ferdia saw Cuchulain coming towards him in his chariot, and it is how his two horses were going, like a hawk sweeping from a cliff on a day of hard wind, or like a sweeping gust of the spring wind on a March day over a smooth plain, or like the swiftness of a wild stag when he is first started by the hounds in his first field, as if they were on fiery flagstones, so that the earth was shaking and trembling with the quickness of their going. Creach for now. Sinead Macharja Galir. I will go no further right now. We are setting ourselves up for a dramatic. Enough. Excuse me. No. The window's open, and you come on. Go on. Good luck now. Come on. No. No. Be egg bark oil, or whatever the Irish for barking is. Hey, no. What? So, we're setting ourselves up for the final episode in that story. Go on, out. No, you're being bold now. You're being bold. Out. No, don't just go down there with your head sulking. Out. He's looking back at me and says, "Oh, please don't make me go out of the room. Oh, that's not nice." Okay, stay there. Sometimes you just have to tell them how it is. So, yeah, I won't spoil it because several of you may never have heard or read the story, but we're heading towards the climax of the story of the war for the bulls. I'm sitting here wondering who came up with those metaphors of how fast they were going, monks or some local story. Basically, it's the bard, the poet, the filla, who's telling the story to the monk. The monk's writing it down. Now, the monks made changes and they added stuff and took some stuff away and made some stuff a bit more biblical. But yeah, that is almost without doubt. That is the bard. That's the poet who's got all that wonderful descriptive language. You to stop either. Sorry, Lexi. Coda doesn't want you to stop either. I pieced the two messages together. That the men of Ulster were afflicted with menopause by Macha. Check out Vedic goddess Chinnamaste. Is that? I'm not sure how that's pronounced. Wow, is it similar? Don't forget to take out the trash, says Johnny. Yes, indeed, the bins have to go out. I love that. Would that be a big can of whoop ass? Yeah. I hope you enjoyed that. Hey, it's all the more enjoyable with your wonderful company and commentary. And we've got some new sounds to add to the ever-growing list of sort of pantomime-like sounds. Now, before we finish for the evening, let me just check the old calendar for next week. Monday. I will not be live streaming this day next week. I'm giving a talk for the Ulster Archaeological Society in Queen's University, Belfast. So we'll probably postpone next week's episode to, I would imagine, Tuesday. So I don't know if you're in Belfast or in the region next Monday, maybe you might like to pop along. I'm not exactly sure where in Queen's University. It shouldn't be difficult to get those details. But the title of my talk is something like Hidden in Plain Sight. Hang on. I can spare a minute or two to find out. Ulster archaeology. What lies beneath the hidden archaeology of the Newgrange landscape? It's the Larmore Lecture Theatre, Queen's University, Belfast main campus, Belfast BT7 1NN. Free event, no booking required. Monday the 15th of December, 7:30 p.m. The speaker's discovery using a drone of a giant previously unrecorded monument close to Newgrange during the summer drought in 2018, dubbed Dronehenge, was the catalyst for further study of the hidden archaeology of the Newgrange townland in the wider Brú-na-Bóinne landscape. Anthony has discovered around 250 previously unknown monuments and the archaeological features in drought-era satellite imagery all across Eastern Ireland, and has made several significant finds with his drone since 2018, including multiple dugout boats in the River Boyne at Drogheda, and more recently a prehistoric ceremonial enclosure measuring over 100 metres in diameter in the Fornox prehistoric landscape. In his presentation, Anthony will highlight many of the hidden or subsurface features that have shown up in drought aerial photographic reconnaissance in the Newgrange townland, and will briefly discuss how he believes some of these archaeological remnants are mentioned in the myths and legends associated with Brú-na-Bóinne. Larmore, L-A-R-M-O-U-R. Don Hilton has arrived right at the end. Hello, Don. Well, I'm late. Hey, a wizard is never late. Or she's never late. She arrives precisely when she means to. Thanks, Elaine. So just a reminder that woof. Next week's episode will be postponed to Tuesday because next Monday I'm speaking at the Ulster Archaeological Society in Queen's University, Belfast. I'll post information about that because I suspect there will be people in this part of the world who will want to attend. Thanks, Anne, and continue your wonderful recovery, and we're very heartened to hear about it, Yeah. Wherever you are in the world, have a fabulous morning, afternoon, evening, night, and a brilliant week. I will see you all next week, probably on Tuesday, for the next episode of Live Irish Myths. It's a pleasure, as always, to host it and to be joined with such a wonderful, interactive audience who like my humour, love the dog, and who have so much to say about our ancient myths and legends. Take care. Have a brilliant week. We'll talk to you all hopefully next Tuesday. In the meantime, new podcast out tomorrow. Subscribe to Patreon at the Bronze Age level. And hope you enjoy that as well. Good night. All that remains for me to be said, all that remains for me to be saying, yes, is Ihawa Kolosov, Slán go fóill, agus tó go bogé.